Good afternoon, Guardians. It's Ebontis here, and yeah, as you can see, it's Arms Day. We've got a little line here at the Gunsmith. I'm going to go ahead and cut in line. Don't mind me, guys. And let's take a look at what he's got. For the Suros ARI 41, number 1 and number 3, while they may look like they have a little better perk paired with it, unfortunately they drop the range too much to really be useful. Number 2 has just about everything I'd want on it except Icarus. You've got the 28 sights. You've got perfect balance, raising the stability without dropping anything else. You've got rifled barrel, which is going to improve your range substantially, which is great for auto rifles, while only dropping reload speed, which is pretty much the best give and take you can go for. Unfortunately, you've got this one sticking out here on the end, which is the big sore thumb. So Icarus could be pretty much anything else and be more beneficial. Rangefinder would be awesome. Counterbalance, awesome. Hidden hand, spray and play, persistence even, that type of stuff is going to be more beneficial than Icarus. You're not going to float in the air and get a lot of benefit out of an auto rifle especially. So while this one has some decent perks on it, and if you want to pick it up, no one's going to judge you. It's up to you and what you want. I just think this one could be better, and for sure would be probably considered much better with a few other perks on here on the end. So up to you guys, but of the 3, number 2 is the best, but definitely not a god roll. So if you want to save it, keep holding on and see what we get next week. For the Gaheris-D, we have some okay options. This one's number 1 here is actually pretty decent when it comes to the world of PvE. On this first column, there's only a few perks that are really going to be beneficial no matter what you go for. Hot Swap, giving you a little bonus accuracy, not too shabby. Crowd Control, which this one has, is bonus damage, which is really nice, especially in the PvE world. And then Triple Tap as well is going to be one if you can sit there and land those precision shots. But this one is nice, just any kill will get you bonus damage. So if you see a low-level person, you shoot them, you get bonus damage, go knock out that next bigger enemy, and you'll be fine. Pair that one with Feeding Frenzy. Any kill, not a precision kill, any kill will increase reload speed. So as you've only got a 7-bullet magazine, a bonus to reload speed should be very beneficial. And then finally over here, we've got Snapshot, high caliber rounds, and reinforced barrel. You can get a boost to range, even though in a PvE category, that's not going to matter that much. So the drop in stability is actually probably more detrimental there. Snapshot is actually not too shabby, honestly. If you want to use that one, between reloading quickly and bringing it up quickly, you're not going to have a lot of downtime on this gun. Your other option, of course, is high caliber rounds. You can stagger targets, giving yourself that time to reload as well. If you need to shoot someone, stagger, reload real quick, and then keep those bullets going. Those are your options. So not a terrible PvE one. It's pretty reasonable, actually, if you want to check this one out. I don't think there's any PvP amazing rolls this week, so if you're looking for that, I would probably hold off until later. For the Kumakatok HC4, this gun is really lacking when it comes to range, so it's important you get something that has any type of range boost. It's almost required. So number 1 here with rifled barrel, pretty much your required pickup. It's also got mulligan on it and life support, pretty decent perks in the world of PvE, so stay alive, have reasonable range, and actually get extra bullets if you miss. You've got steady hand and true sight, both pretty good sights to deal with, so pretty good options there on Kumakatok. Again, still not my favorite gun, but if you're going to pick one up, at least one has this booster range, so pretty reasonable on the first choice. As for the Herja-D, number 3 is a pretty good option as well. You've got Head Seeker giving you bonus damage for a short time to precision shots with body shots. Feeding Frenzy, kills with this weapon increase reload speed for a short time, so you can keep firing as quickly as you keep getting those kills. Then you've got the choice of high caliber rounds to stagger, hand-loaded for a boost to range, or you can go injection mold to lose some range but get a boost to stability. Personally, I would take the range. The stability is reasonably high on this one. And on top of that, you got the holo sights, which is pretty much the best Hake sight. So pretty good here. Improved target acquisition, bonus damage, faster reload speed, boost to range. Can't really go too wrong with this one, so pick up number 3 and you'll probably be in pretty good shape for the Herja-D. If for some reason you still have a PDX45, number 3 actually is a really good option. I've got one pretty close to this, and it's kind of a preference on that middle perk. Rifled barrel for improved range, and perfect balance for improved stability. So you're getting this thing almost fully stable, huge boost to range, and not giving up any stability stats as well. And you've got the 28 sights on this one. Pretty solid across the board. And now you've got hidden hand. Now, in this slot, you can have rangefinder, you can have counterbalance. I've got one with rangefinder, pretty much almost identical to this, but I don't have the 28 sights. I've got the 26. If you pair improved target acquisition with better target acquisition, those headshots are going to be coming more frequently. You've got better range and stability on a very stable gun in the first place. This one's a really good option if you're looking for one. I haven't seen one quite this good come around in a while, so if you have a PDX45, number 3 is definitely a good way to go. For the PDX41, we've got a pretty solid roll in number 1 this week, actually. Starting off with the 28 sights, improved target acquisition. These are usually always the best ones to go for. Then we've got fitted stock to boost stability, counterbalance, increase stability, basically makes the recoil almost purely vertical, which is really nice. And then you've got small bore, another range and stability boost for dropping reload speed and magazine size. This thing will definitely be solid in PvP. If you're going for a PvE gun, this one's not really your one, but in PvP, every one of these shots is going to be solid, stable, and they're going to be really accurate. So definitely go for package 1 this week on the PDX-41, and I think you'll be pleased with it. For the field test weapons this week, we've got 3 Crucible and 2 PvE, but as you guys are going to be spending a lot of time in Iron Banner, this may not be quite such a bad thing. First, we've got the Omelon Fusion Rifle. Use it in the Crucible. So, Fusion Rifle with a lower charge rate like this, make sure you plan your battles accordingly. It's got decent impact and range, so try and engage people farther away that are trying to charge you with, say, a shotgun or something like that. Here we've got the Hake Test Rifle. Looks kind of like the Herja-D in the icon. Use this one in Crucible. So, again, here, just pick your battles. This is a pulse rifle. This one actually does have rodeo, so a little less stability jumping around, but again, you're probably not going to outshoot a lot of people, especially if they're running around with all those clever dragons. So try and pick these carefully, try and catch people off guard. It's not going to be the easiest week to do it, but the other piece of this is, unfortunately, if you're running around in Iron Banner, these are going to drop your light level. So light level doesn't seem to matter too much if you just do one gun. It's not going to be that big of a factor, but if you try and equip 2 of these, that could be a little detrimental to your light. So keep that in mind so you don't do too many of these at once. As for the Suros TSP, use this against Vex targets. Pretty much anywhere on Venus, run to the Citadel or farther, and you'll pretty much run into some Vex over there. And also with the Hake Test Rifle, you just need to make double kills. So again, anything just 2 kills back to back, doesn't have to be even precision kills, just double kills. So 1 kill and then another, make sure you don't leave too much time in between them, and that should count for this one as well. Finally, we've got the Omelon Sniper Rifle for Crucible, and Sniper Rifles in Crucible actually aren't too shabby. As long as you can land a headshot, I mean, it may not have that much aim assist on it and things like that, but headshot's still a headshot with a Sniper Rifle, so unless you're trying to shoot somebody with a super with this thing, if you can tag them, you're still going to count. So this is probably your easiest one. Just make sure you pick your maps where you're trying to engage properly down long corridors, just like Pantheon or Bannerfall even has some decent corridors on it too. So just pick your battles carefully, and this one should be alright. As for the Foundry orders this week, first one we've got is the Hake Zarinaea-D. This is your middle impact, middle rate of fire auto rifle. Kind of like your Suros ARI-41 or Red Spectre, things like that. So you've got a pretty decent range stat to start on this one, pretty highest in the category actually. Paired already with reasonable aim assist and stability both, with reload time decent as well. So you've got a pretty solid stat pool to start with. If you can get a boost to both range and say stability on this one, you're going to be in pretty good shape. So keep that one in mind. This one actually can be pretty reasonable. It's not in the best like overall beast archetype, but with good rolls, I think this could still be a pretty viable gun. Next we come to the Suros DIS-43. This is the middle impact, middle rate of fire type scout rifle, so think about Tread Upon Stars, Tuanella, those type. It's got a really high range, which unfortunately when it comes to scout rifles isn't something you're pretty much usually ever lacking on. Aim assist is pretty solid actually. It's up there in the 60s. Reload time is mediocre, and then stability is just right there in the middle. So you'd be looking for a solid amount of stability, maybe a boost of reload speed if you want this thing to really be a PvE beast. So honestly, this one's kind of middle ground. The DIS-47 with like full auto seems to be like a really popular one people go for, but this one with the right rolls could be useful as well. So it's up to you guys, but I think this one's just kind of in the mediocre category of archetypes. Not really a beast, but with the right rolls, it could be pretty viable as well. Next, we come to the Omelon HC4. This is going to be your almost highest impact, almost lowest rate of fire. Just the Judith-D is pretty much in a category of its own, but this one is still pretty high up there. You've got solid stability, pretty decent range for a hand cannon. It doesn't compare to the Imago loop, but versus everything else, it's right up there at the top of the levels. And then you've got aim assist up there as well. That's pretty reasonable for a hand cannon. So there's certain ones that can be just beastly in some of these categories, and when it comes to something that hits this hard, usually it kicks a lot more. So the stability that this thing has, and it's just like the Vanity, high stability and pretty high impact is a nice combination. At that point, you just need to try and boost the range as much as you can, and if you get something like a boost to aim assist, so that's going to be a nice benefit as well. Next, we come to the Jingukogo-D Hake shotgun. This one is middle impact, middle rate of fire. Unfortunately, this one's not exactly going to be a PvP beast, but if you do want to try and look for one that gets you a good PvE roll, some of these middle rate of fire, middle impact ones with something like full auto could be a lot of fun to use, just depends on what rolls you get. this thing is better than at least its brother, the Strongbow, because it's got a higher range stat, higher reload time, and every other stat's going to be the same, so you really have no downfalls in this one versus Strongbow. And just have to see what rolls we get. So this one, unfortunately, when it comes to these shotguns, most of the time coming out of the Arms Day orders, I don't see a lot of benefit out of those, but you can still give it a shot if you want to. When it comes to the Irene RR4, there are some really good rolls for this. You guys have probably seen me use it in some of my videos. I've just had one for a while and feel comfortable with it. I just like this sniper rifle, but it may not be for everybody. You can get some nice perks on it, though. I mean, you can get triple tap paired with mulligan and then casket mag, so you can have 6 or almost 7 shots if you can actually get everything to be a successful crit. So pairing everything together can actually be really awesome on this gun. So with the right rolls, this thing can be a really, really good raid type sniper, just because you can pump out a lot of damage. It may not compare up there with the raid sniper and things like that, but if you want a good PvE gun in general, I still like the way this one feels and just is in the PvE world. So pick this one up for sure. You can have some pretty good rolls on this one. We'll see what it holds next week. But that pretty much wraps it up for me, guys. As always, thank you for tuning in. Iron Banner is still going on this week, so check out my other video. I break down the inventory for Lady Aphrodite. Pretty much everything is awesome. All the armor is nearly max tier 12 stats. The guns have great perks on them, so definitely spend some time in Iron Banner this week. Otherwise, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. Definitely helps me out. And check out the main channel page. Subscribe there, and I will keep the content coming your way. Have a great week, guys. Enjoy, and I will talk to you later. Have a good one.